we're not talking about boundaries that put your life in danger. You just jumped out of a goddamn airplane. You don't draw the line there.
You drawing the line at a festival? That's the silly part about it to me.
And y'all in the comments saying, well, she giving all this to him and she doing all this stuff.
We talking about going to a festival?
Practice.
The thing we talking about practice.
Practice? We talking about practice, man.
Hello, my loves. Welcome on back to our channel. Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm your girl, Intisar Eleanor. I am joined with my beautiful husband, Joseph Conner, and we are back, and we are talking all things Married at First Sight, Season 19. How are you doing today, Joe? How's your weekend going?
Oh, it's going. A lot going on. Busy week. We're getting ready for the Latin Grammys that's coming up this week, so it's just been a hectic week.
I've been having a good week, I feel like. I got a lot done. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at work, which makes me feel good because, you know, when you come back, you kind of be like all discombobulated and stuff. And I just feel like I'm kind of getting my footing finally. We went to breakfast this morning, the whole family, so that's always good. And now I got to figure out Thanksgiving, figure out my decorations and everything like that. What are you guys cooking for Thanksgiving? Whose house are you going to? What are your plans? We typically go to Atlanta, but since we had the baby, so we're not going to do that with her just yet. What do you guys do? Who do you hang out with? How do you spend it? Let us know. Bust down, let us know. Let's dig on into Married at First Sight. Let's begin with Megan and Derek.
I just appreciate that somebody in the comments just calls her Karen now, because I said, call her Karen. And now every time they reference him, they say, Karen don't want to be married. Karen want this. Karen want that. And I know exactly who you're talking about.
Karen is fascinating. And she's fascinating because she is really into Derek. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate Derek's, you know, wanting to be slow and slow walk his feelings and everything like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the way this production has moved along, I'm actually really surprised we're at the 1 month mark. But I don't know if I like it or not yet. How do you all like this formatting? Like, it feels like there's so much that is left out, the word I want to use?
Maybe. I mean, yes. Has it been left out? For us, yes. For them, maybe not. I feel like they're doing the same schedule that they did previously, but it feels like they are expediting this thing so much as far as the final production. So, like, this is only week 3 of the show being out in the real world time.
Right.
But they're already on their 1 month anniversary. By this time in the previous season,
it would be week 2.
Yes. Right.
And I think that's why it's kind of jarring for me, because I'm like, what's happening here? Yeah,
it's what they fast tracking it a little bit. And part of it makes me feel like we're seeing more of the couples mature faster. It feels like they're maturing faster, but are they maturing faster?
Right.
That's the question.
Right. That's a good point. Well, Megan and Derek are on the fast track, on the Acela train. They are just out of this world in wavelength because they are pregnant.
Which, how the hell did we get here? And I'm going to tell you how we got here. Derek wanted them to get here. And Derek was low-key telegraphing this. And I don't know if y'all picked it up, but I picked it up a couple episodes ago. It just felt like he was laying the seeds that he knew what he was doing. And I've never seen a woman get trapped in real time, and it felt like he was trapping Megan.
The weird part about it is I feel like it's a Jedi mind trick, and she's trapping him. And the reason why I say this is because she tells Derek she loves them at their 1 month anniversary dinner / wedding watch party for themselves. And he doesn't say it back. And then we find out that she's pregnant. Now, obviously, those things could have happened out of order, right? But in the order with which we received the information, I do feel like she's doing the trapping. I find, and another part of that is I find her to be too smart. It's not. I don't think she's I find her to be too. She's not gonna do anything she don't want to do. We could tell by the way she bitches and moans about everything else.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I don't find her to be very smart at all.
Really?
At all. I think the extent of her, intelligence that I see, her quickness, is the manipulation that she does in arguments when she does the tears and she does the. I also feel like in a moment she looked terrified to me, and he looked perfectly fine. It almost felt like he was doing a bad acting job.
But I think
Like,
that's for some men
I
the
don't
case
know,
though.
man. Like, we'll just figure it out. Like, he just didn't feel like. I've seen a man just find out that he was having an unexpected baby, and they never looked like that. It just felt pretend to me. And also, Derek, you knew you were shooting up the club. So
What are you doing?
That's what
For
I'm saying.
me,
Like, was it a surprise?
For me, I don't mind you all wanting to be intimate with each other. Hell, part of me don't even mind you all getting pregnant. But we're 1 month in at this time.
That's wild to me.
Yes, that is your husband. And I'm not saying you even got to wait 6 months. I'm saying get the cameras from in front of your face. I don't understand the rush. Like I wouldn't even think it's a big deal if you waited. You get the cameras out your face and then y'all get pregnant. That's not a big deal to me. I think it's so odd that she is pregnant, but I also love that she's pregnant because, as a woman who tried to have babies, at my age, there's a certain amount of fear with getting pregnant or your ability to get pregnant or whatever the case may be. And for her to just be able to do it, yeah. I mean, I don't know, y'all.
I think it's crazy. And I'm going to tell you why, because I think we're in a day and age where not enough onus is put on bringing a human into the world with another person. And that is massively more of the milestone than marriage is. And a lot of people talk like marriage is the most monumental thing that you'll ever do in life. And it's not. Bring a human into the world with another person is the most monumental thing you'll do as a couple. It's massive. And people just talk like the marriage part is just like the big thing, not like the actual parenting. You need to know who you bringing a person into the world with.
That's a very good point.
You have to know that. That is a very important thing. It's a very permanent thing.
But you got to know how they were raised.
Marriage.
You got to know, yeah.
It is. I know a ton of people who have married and divorced and moved on with their life. Anybody who has a child is still dealing with, as long as that other person is alive, they're still dealing with that child's parent.
Yeah.
I heard Big Sean say something about marriage, talking about Janae Aiko, and I'm sitting here thinking, you have kids with this person. How are you so scared of the marriage part? This is your child's mother.
Literally.
That's the monument. That's the huge part. That's the huge undertaking. So I just think you have to know somebody. Like, this feels wild because we want you guys to grow and love together and figure each other out. And
yes.
You have time to do that. You have the support to do that. Being a parent is a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. They don't have those experts on here.
I don't even know why they rush to do it.
Yeah.
That's number one. The second part of that is you don't tell people to the second trimester.
Right.
I wouldn't even have said it on camera. Like that probably would have been something I kept a little closer to my vest.
100%.
Only because so many things, it's such a delicate dance.
Yes.
The first trimester, everything has to fire at a very specific
Especially
time.
at the age of 38.
Child, and trying to make a human, that shit is hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know that I would have disclosed that information so soon, but in their defense, that's real, right? And also, to me, it's the most interesting thing about them.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because I do want to just be on a journey with y'all falling in love, but you're just not interesting.
100%.
And I can't make waves of it. You know what I mean?
100%. The most interesting thing now is like, who was the sleight of hand? Was it Megan? Was
Right.
it Derek? Somebody. This was not a surprise for somebody. I believe it's Derek.
How
I
did
believe
you-
Derek knew he was shooting up the club. I believe he planned this. I believe he was talking to the mom about having a kid, and then he kept bringing it up to her. Like well, we could do it. We could have a kid by Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that it's a little bit of seriousness in every joke, and he was just joking a lot about it. And so I don't think it was a true surprise to him.
But then they said they meet her parents or Derek meets Megan's parents. And I didn't even know her name, y'all. I literally just
Karen.
had to look at the screen. Derek meets Megan's parents, and it was fascinating. It's just a weird family. Beautiful home, weird family. And I don't know why you ever like can't put your finger on somebody.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the parents. They started talking about what I appreciated about the dad is that he talked about how much easier it was for them to have children back in the day because everything was so much cheaper. You know what I mean? It's so hard to make a really good living now, and creating multiple children. They would understand if you couldn't. And Derek was like, I want to do as many as I can. 3, 2, 3, whatever. I just want children, which I loved. But I do want him, I don't know. Part of me wants him to be a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Not even more realistic. We had this conversation about somebody in our life, and I said, part of me wants him to just experience this person.
Yes.
Unencumbered. Just experience her. Because I think the problem is that they are creating the conversation about the kids and the this and the that. Y'all are creating. All you need to know is that you're going to have children.
Yeah.
Let's move on and get to know each other in other ways.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. You know what I mean? But we need to get deeper and really have conversations about other things. And I feel like he tries to do that, and she's not as deep as he is.
She's not at all. I just don't think she is even conversational. I'm wondering how they're filling their time together sometimes.
They're fucking.
Clearly.
Excuse my
That's
language.
true.
Oh, my God.
It's factual.
That's how they filling their time.
Yeah.
That's America's real pastime. But in real life, I do believe that they are being very physical with one another, because a month in, you will make a baby by somebody who in a month in won't even say he love you.
Yeah.
Which, it's a month in, so he doesn't have to say he loves you, right?
Right.
But
This is
I'm
the
saying,
point. Right.
what are we doing? That's number one. Number two, when you signed up for this, your first thought wasn't, let me get on some type of contraceptive or birth control in the event that something like this happens. I want to safeguard. That wasn't your first mind?
Yeah. You
That's
just meeting this guy.
irresponsible to me.
The whole thing is wildly irresponsible.
It's a bit irresponsible. Babies are a blessing. Y'all, nobody believes that more than I do. This feels irresponsible.
Wildly.
Or it's going to be this whirlwind romance fairy tale. It's going to be either one.
I hope it is, because I don't watch these shows to see broken families. So this is...
How did we get there? We just trying to get y'all to like each other at the end of 8 weeks. Now we got to worry about y'all being a broken family or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, because then the first thing out her mouth is, well, just because we're married doesn't mean that, or just because we're pregnant doesn't mean that we have to stay together on decision day.
But that's another reason why I felt like she was not trapped. That's such a specific thing to say. You know what I mean? Like,
It's wild.
it's a very specific thing to say. Hear me, darling, when I say this. You have to make a baby by somebody who is into you. It's you, y'all. We go through so many things as women, ups and downs and this and that throughout this process, that you have to be with somebody who is into you, because men do not have the strength of emotion that we think they do, the strength of empathy that we think they do, and they will fucking leave your ass or say something wild like, oh, I ain't know we was gonna make it, or some stupid ass shit like that, because that's what they do. They don't have it. They just don't. You know what I mean? You're literally building a human, and they are thinking about themselves. And it's like really the truth.
Which is why it's wild to me that so many women will just pretend like I could just do this on my own.
Because they're not with men who would make it a point for them not to be on their own.
No, I mean like people who are single, who are just like, I'll just throw a rock and hit somebody and then have a baby.
I think you see, because women have done it. The problem is that just because you can do it don't mean that you should do it
At all.
And women have done it, and some women have done it almost seamlessly. You know what I mean? Like, and been able to turn out successful people, happy people, contributing members of society, all of those things. But just because she ran herself down don't mean that that's something that you have to do.
You should never volunteer yourself for hardship.
And I just think that you should
That's
want.
what's wild to me about it.
I think
But
you should
shit
just have
happens.
love. I think
Yeah.
you should want. I think that if you want a baby, right, that means that you want some type of love. You should also want the companionship of that as well.
You should also want the support. It's a wildly
support.
It's so hard to do. The whole process is so difficult. Beautiful as it is, it's very difficult. So to volunteer to go through that type of hardship by yourself or with somebody who's a wild card, you don't know. He might be there for you. He might not be.
Have you even ever been sick? Because you got to know that this man will hold your hair, or you know what I mean,
Or
like
just show up
wipe
at
your
all.
ass, or hold you up while you pissing, or some shit like that. You have to know these things. You know what I mean, or
That's
just
why-
show up at all.
That's why it's so important to know the person that you're bringing a human into the world, and the fact that it's so casual. I mean, just even in the social media space, people just talk about it like that's having a baby with somebody. Yeah, that's cool. Marriage, I don't know about that. That's we got to think about that. It's just crazy to me.
Honestly,
It's so ass
it's
backwards.
very group thinky to me.
Hmm.
It's like having original thought. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see, you would see your mother struggling with her single child to bring your raggedy, big-headed ass into the world. And then you would turn around and want to do that to another woman. Like, what is wrong with you? And then on the other side, as women, we see people do things and then we think, I don't need them. You know what I mean? It's so important to have a partner who sees you. And just as a woman, right? Fuck being a mother. As a woman, it is so important to be with somebody who sees you. We ask for so many things out of people, and none of y'all are asking for a deep, ocean deep kind of love, kind of passion for one another.
No.
Nobody is asking for that. And I find that to be so fascinating, because a man can be rich and broke mentally and spiritually. And y'all don't understand that. Just because he's rich don't mean he will give you a red cent.
And that's
Just,
factual.
And that's why it's so important for you to marry somebody who is just obsessed with you. I am so tired of having these conversations, and it's like, oh, he got to be this, he got to be that.
Everybody got the same list.
I'm tired. And I know that's taking us, I went on a tangent, but I'm saying that because it is so important when you're making decisions to bring your little baby into the world that it's with somebody who is obsessed with you. You are a God. What women do, we are gods. And y'all can call it blessed. Y'all can call it whatever y'all want. We are gods. What we are able to do, how we are able to build a human, eyeballs and hearts and livers, and that's insane. Nobody can do that. You know what I mean? So the idea that you're able to do those things from tiny little cells, and you don't treat yourself like a temple, your body is a temple, that's some real shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's real. I don't get that. This whole thing is just, yeah, they grown, but it's also like Megan girl.
It's so many major implications of doing this wrong, of bringing a human into the world with the wrong partner, for men and women. There's so many massive implications. Y'all have to put more weight on that.
We just got to.
We have to put more weight on that.
And y'all gotta look for love. The greatest revolution, and I say this with anybody, this is with white people, black people, Indian people, is love. If we learn to love one another, we'll be able to pour those loving feelings into a baby. It's so many mean and nasty children out here, and that's because their parents is mean and nasty to each other and just as a humans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't build no baby like that out of love.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, hence Megan and her mama.
It's something there. How about that? Like, let that be a lesson in itself. They got a way crazy weird relationship
It's too
dynamic
weird.
going on there.
It's too weird. And the truth is, the mama she want to come in and tell everybody what to do.
Oh, 100%. And also, the mama was nicer to Derek than she was to Megan.
Yes, she
To
was,
me.
but that's not surprising to me. But I'm like, I done spent 20 minutes talking about these people. They didn't even deserve all that. It was less
It was
about the
more
people
about
and more about the
situation.
process.
Yeah, because
Not me, they didn't deserve all that. But I did want to talk about the last thing is them pranking everybody. That was actually hilarious.
I thought it was
And that's
pretty
how you
good.
do a prank.
Yeah.
You don't want to I don't want to see my car be
Yeah.
pushed into a lake and then we laugh about
Yeah,
it.
that's not funny. Don't put ice cream on my seats. Just silly shit. No, that was cool. What was not cool was the OG actually using the toilet paper that was not toilet paper.
Belinda. First
Belinda.
of all, Belinda used the toilet paper. She said she put her foot on it and ripped it. And I thought that was hilarious.
How did you... What?
The whole thing I thought was really good fun. And I thought everybody were good sports. So I really did love that. I
Yeah, it was
love
cool.
that. Will and Brittany, come to the front. Y'all, what the hell is going on with them? It's almost like I'm watching me and Joe in the 11th grade.
And it's worse than that because they're adults. They're
That's
30
my
and
point.
29.
That's exactly my
Like,
point.
it's hard to... It's getting increasingly hard to watch. The worst part about it is it feels like sometimes it feels good, right? And you can see that they have promise. And then immediately something will happen, like while they were playing pickleball. It just broke out into an argument. It'll just happen like that in a blink of an eye.
Let's take a step back to their 1 month anniversary. Will and Brittany go and do like a wrestling clinic.
Yes.
Loved that.
That was cool.
I love that she's into wrestling.
Yeah, it was cool to know that Brittany was actually a super big wrestling fan.
Loved
and so
it.
was Will, actually, he said.
And I thought it was really thoughtful, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it looked like they were having a good time. And I think that's really nice to see as well. Because, like I said, we can see them kind of growing into one another, except for Will gives. So everybody's calling Will on the spectrum and autistic and everything like that. And
God, are they really?
I mean, everybody. And I get it, right? But sometimes I think calling people that absolves them of showing up. Well, I'm autistic. You know what I mean?
I think it's
can't
more
read the room.
Yeah, I think it's more undiagnosed people out here than
It's far
than
more.
not, so
But I also feel like I don't want to give that out.
Yeah.
Right. So if we give the perspective that he is autistic, okay, we could justify the reason why he did all those things. But let's talk about it from a place of if he's not, if he's just one of those guys who is aloof and enjoys being that way towards their partners. You know what I mean? Some of the things I get because those are social cues he may not pick up on or whatever, but he picks up on everything. That's the difference, right? To be autistic is to have blind spots socially sometimes. And he doesn't have blind spots. He recognizes everything that's going on. He just is not going to give but this much energy. There's a difference there to me.
yeah, he's very intelligent. You know what I mean? And could he be on the spectrum? Yeah,
He could, yes.
he could be. They all could be on the spectrum.
But who couldn't be,
You know
right?
what I mean? Yeah. So I think, we can't absolve him of his wrongdoings because we think that he's autistic. You know what I mean? The truth of the matter is he's a 30-year-old grown man who is actually very intelligent. And that's what makes a lot of their miscues so frustrating to me.
It is so frustrating because he actually pretends, and I'm saying pretend, like he don't understand where she's coming from, and that annoys the shit out of me.
Which I don't. I think he is closed-minded. So I think he does not understand where she's coming from. And
But I think he doesn't understand, not because he can't, because he does not want to.
yeah,
I think that
he's
there's a
closed-minded.
difference,
Yeah,
right?
I think he's closed-minded.
Right.
So he's not even open to.
Seeing it her way.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Until she has an emotional response. And it's unfortunate because that's why that baby is guarded, because she's dealt with a ton of men like this. This is not her first man where she can't look at him and tell if he's into her, or he doesn't say something that makes her feel like, oh man, this guy's into me, or he affirms me, or whatever the case may be. It's like every time they have an argument, if we go sit down at a table and somebody says, have you said,
I love you.
I love you? And he's like, absolutely not. What is wrong with you?
And that's the question. But then he'll be like, "Oh, I can see how I shouldn't have said that." It's like, why didn't you get that in the
Because
first
you
place?
did not want to. And it's almost like Pavlov's dog. He's almost training her. And y'all don't even like, to me, this is how I'm taking it. Like Pavlov's dog is like when there's like a sound or a light bulb comes on, you give a treat. Okay? And then it starts to, and then before you know it, you don't even have to do anything. You'll turn the light on and your mouth starts salivating. The dog's mouth starts salivating because the dog already knows a treat is coming. You know what I mean? The light just turned on. I feel like that's what he's doing to her. It's almost like this thing where he's like, oh, well, so then it's like if she only will get an emotional response out of him if she's crying. I don't know if anybody has noticed that.
Maybe so, because I do feel like she's crying a lot, and that's another.
Which I love black women crying. Do not get me wrong. So you do what you got to do, girl, to sort your emotions.
There's obviously something deeper wrong here, and then she won't really talk about it. Like she'll be like, "I'm okay," and then she'll start crying, and they could be talking about nothing. It happened a lot. It felt like in this little iteration of episodes.
Whole lot of nothing.
So I think that's the other thing that's just been confusing about them. Like sometimes they'll just be having a conversation that seems, common on the surface, and then she'll be crying. And I think that adds to their miscues because in that moment, I definitely don't know why she's crying. And then he's like, why are you crying? And then there's times where he's asked her, like, what's going on? And then she shuts down and she's not saying nothing. So something is triggering her. And even that is, like, not talked about unless there's Dr., Pia or Pastor Cow there. So it's just like this round Robin Hood's barn of issues with them.
The problem
it's really
is,
exhausting.
I don't believe he doesn't know. Let's give an example. She says they have a conversation about decision day. And she asks him from time to time, if you were asked today or tomorrow, would you continue with this relationship? Would you continue with this relationship? He says, yes, but that's how I feel today. I don't know how I'm going to feel in a month or so. Why qualify it?
He says he was qualifying it because that was his way of being transparent. And then he said, that was another instance of, well, I guess I shouldn't have said that. It's like, yes, why didn't you learn from the last time that you shouldn't have said something?
But that's where I'm getting the Pavlov's dog from.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I want to do until I get the most emotion out of you. And then I'll say, I'll give you a nugget. Sorry. But you're going to cry every single time we have a real conversation. And then at the end, I'll say, sorry. Oh, I understand what you mean. That's exhausting. And there's some kind of like waterboarding going on there. You know what I mean? Like that to me is a form of torture. Because in truth, have you learned nothing? At this point, y'all have had many conversations, right? So you don't have to be all that emotionally sound to just understand patterns. So at this point, okay, if I do this and I take her this far, she's going to cry. So maybe I'll walk it back a couple steps. You know what I mean? And then maybe I won't say this. His incessant need to say things to deprecate where they are is their issue. And
which is weird because it's like the thing with Pat, right? And Rhonda, like Pat after a while is walking on eggshells, right? So you can see that he is like holding some of his words in. You know what I mean? You can see that he's sometimes holding some of his words in as a result of putting his foot in his mouth so many times, right? I don't see that a lot with Will. I felt like I saw it a little bit when they were playing pickleball, and he was like, she was asking him to say something that was a criticism of her, and he was like, I'm not doing this. That was the first time that I felt like he was pulling a Pat, and he was like, I keep putting my foot in my mouth. I'm not doing it anymore. But it hasn't shown up, and it felt like the rest of these episodes that we have been watching, which is why it feels like they keep going into these ruts where he says something that's off, and then he ruins the mood or some shit like that. It's just like a circle.
But that's why you shouldn't be begging for dick from a man with a dangly earring and a lace pink shirt on, because he don't even recognize your feelings. You know what I mean? I love when people be grown and be sexing on people when they want to sex on people, but I also absolutely positively believe that you have to safeguard yourself against the ops, and that energy is very oppy to me. You know what I mean? Like, because you shouldn't, how could you be close to me, inside of me, all up and out, and you don't, and you, every conversation we have, I got to cry.
Yeah.
In order for you to see me. I can't get with that. I cannot get with that. And I find him to be, every time he opens his mouth, I think he's less and less cute. I find him to be such, it's no redeeming qualities. And the autism thing is us trying to save him because he's cute. But if he was ugly, we would just say that ain't shit. And nobody would be saying he on the spectrum or nothing. Okay, it's the same way we was trying to save Edmund. Because Edmund was a little, no bullshit. Edmund was a little bit cute, but he was a little weird. So we said, that baby got to be on the spectrum. No, but if he was real ugly, we would be like, no, I don't see it for him. It's just something wrong with him.
The problem is, I think that they like each other. I believe that they really like each other. And they are putting us as a viewer in this toxic whirlwind as well.
Yeah.
Because they have moments that are endearing.
Oh, my God. I agree.
And then they have moments where we feel like Megan and Derek on the pickleball court. Like, should we just leave and let them?
Now, on the other hand, Brittany needs too much.
Yeah. And
she needs a lot of affirmation, but she's not getting a lot of affirmation.
That's from some past traumas from other relationships and everything, because they'll have an issue and she'll immediately jump to like, well, I'm probably not his person. He's probably going to leave me. And it's like,
or I just feel like I'm not his person. He may not even recognize. The thing is, I really want people to just relax.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I know we had the conversation earlier about meeting somebody and being with somebody, making children with somebody who is actually into you and how important that is. But at this stage of their relationship, they should just be experiencing one another. Whether or not you're that person's person matters not.
Yeah, because we can't get to these big diagnoses so soon.
Like, let's slow down.
A lot of, and I see this in real world single life, people are trying to diagnose somebody in the second date. This is it. This is my person. Or I can't see a future with them. You just met them.
Nobody is, but that's because we're all trying to hit these milestones and we're not trying to just live life.
Yeah.
The conversations I be having, I just be like, are you even enjoying this?
Right. This is what I mean when I say y'all don't make the dating world and the single world sound fun. There was a time where I think married men felt like, oh, these people is outside. Look at them outside. And that time is long gone. I don't believe that anybody that's in the married space and happily married would envy you guys in the single world, because a lot of the conversation seems like this is not even fun for y'all.
It doesn't even seem fun. Your incessant need to make everybody the person that you need them to be
immediately.
How? And maybe I'm speaking from a place of privilege, right? I'm a woman of a certain age. I met my husband young. But I've lived a life. I've lived a full life. And I don't remember I remember just dating.
Arduous.
I remember just experiencing humans and allowing them to experience me. And I feel like sometimes because we're trying to get to somewhere, you guys are trying to have all the answers on the first 2 dates,
which is like exhausting.
Or in the first month. He don't have to know that you're his person just yet.
Right.
All he got to know is that I'm on this walk with you. He really does not. I wouldn't even be looking to put that much pressure on him.
Right. Because
to answer a question like that.
You might not be his person today.
Boom. But a year from now, you might be his.
That's a part of growing with somebody and maturing. The maturation process of the relationship is the meat and potatoes of it all. It's the beauty of it all.
But she's worried about this, Brittany, because, and we see this a lot in black women. Black women will not get into a relationship for the fear of failing at the relationship.
Yeah.
Now, hear me when I say this. We just had a conversation and somebody said in the conversation, I just want to get married once. Like, I don't want to have to do it again. And I thought, who wants to keep getting married? As a divorcee, that's not on anybody's mind when they get married. I'm getting divorced. Like, nobody's thinking that that's the thing, right? And we short ourselves of a human experience being focused, hyper-focused on the failure.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the failure because we see it as a failure, because society sees it as a failure. But a divorce to you could be a win. It could be freedom. It could be emancipation. It could be all of those things, right? But because society sees it as a failure, you are so hyper focused on how you are interacting with a human, you don't even get to take them in.
But also, y'all, so what? Like, when
But
people
so
fail.
what?
So what if it is failure? So what if you did fail? That's a part of life, to try and to fail.
That's
a
the
part
human
of life.
experience.
Michael Jordan said he's only as great as he is because of all the times that he failed. He was cut from his high school basketball team. That was a failure. He needed that to become the person that he is today. So the fear, my issue is not, I'm afraid to fail, right? Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to fall on their face. My issue is that the paralyzation of it all.
But that's where the fear, the paralyzation begins with the fear of failure. And the problem is failure has such a negative connotation when it really is just another step towards growth.
It's just a part of life.
It's just literally a part of the human experience.
Right.
And your insane need to control the human experience, you don't even actually get to be a human in the experience.
It's fucking up your whole situation. Yeah.
And that's what she's doing.
And that's why y'all get into these conversations, and in the first sitting, you're ruining your whole, any promise that this relationship has, because y'all knee deep in talking about, you know, how many kids y'all gonna have, when y'all gonna have them, what their credit score is. Y'all not just like you said, you're not just experiencing a person. Now you're interviewing.
But it's and I just want y'all to, as especially black women, Brittany is really a symbol to me for a lot of black women I know who are just like, it's got to be this way. And Brittany is carrying her mother on her shoulders. They went around her mother. Her mother said, do everything I didn't do in my relationship. Yeah. So she wants these things. She needs to feel like I'm his person and I'm winning at this, because she feels like her mother didn't have that. Did y'all peep that?
Yeah, for sure.
She told us that her mom and dad aren't affectionate people and they didn't have, like, you know, talk to each other much or hang out with each other much. She needs it so desperately. It's pouring out of her. And it's like, unfortunately, Will is unmoved by that. He's an immovable force. I don't know what we were watching, but the man said, you could do all that, but I'm an immovable force. Like, I don't care what you do. Yeah. I'm literally like, this is who I'm going to be. You know what I mean? And I think that's what Will is. And that's why it's so frustrating for her, because y'all be thinking, cause you cute and the fit is right, that equals a man's obsession to you.
Yeah. And it's the farthest thing from the truth.
I want better for Brittany, and I want her to relax, and I want her to just experience and be lighthearted. I don't mind her crying, because I think black women should cry and get their tears out or get their feelings out however they see fit. But I want her to just have a human experience here and just take him in. Everything he's saying, dude, we don't even got to give him a reaction. Just take him in. It's only a month. Just take him in. I want y'all to literally be a part, experience life. It is so scary how y'all be trying to fit motherfuckers into holes. It freaks me out.
It really does. And it's not fun to watch.
And the reason why most married people don't be saying nothing to y'all is because they know how much of their person, if those successful happily married people, they just had to experience.
Yeah.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Y'all so consumed with what you ain't gonna put up with. Oh no, he can't do that. That's a deal breaker. Y'all so consumed.
The list is overtaking your life. Y'all have to stop with the list.
And we gotta stop with like Brittany feeling like it's gotta be this.
Yeah.
It could look 100 different ways, and you have to be open to that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciated her when she said that one of her favorite things about him is his mind. You know what I mean? And how he thinks about things and how he's so uniquely himself. I really did appreciate that because he is uniquely himself. But it's also like, don't allow those things to knock you off your square too much because you're seeking validation.
Right.
Babe, you're going to have to crumb it the same way he doing it. Giving you a little bit of this. And every time you get a little, you salivate. You get a little bit more, you salivate. You got to start doing him like that. Stop being so desperate for his approval.
But just
and
relax.
love yourself.
Just
and what
relax.
this is, y'all.
Relax. Like it's just too much. Everything feels so heavy sometimes with them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. You don't have to immediately go to it might be over. Like
sometimes it's a misunderstanding, and sometimes it's your self-love that's in the way.
Yeah.
It's so weird because as a young woman, I didn't understand why people said, like, you have to love yourself before anybody can love you. But you really do, because then you'll realize I don't even give a fuck if I'm your person or not.
Right.
I am that person. I never met a man and I wasn't his person. Every single last one of them. And that's just the truth, right? And that's just because I'm so arrogant that I believe that when I come into somebody's life, I am moving mountains in it, right? And I don't even think to ask them if I'm that person because, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And I think we got to get there. We got to just know we are the vibe and then allow people to show us with all of their love and their energy.
she don't have the security for that. That's
That's what I'm saying. All of this is rooted in deep.
Yeah.
Poor baby with her cute self. Something is up with Josh, and I like Josh. And Josh is really smart. I want to know what Josh's sign is. Josh gives me a Pisces. What do y'all think?
Honestly, I think something is up with Jalen. I don't know. I mean,
No. I agree, but I think something is up with both of them. Two different ways, though.
So they had this whole situation about writing the vows, right? And that was really the crux of their existence in this last batch of episodes. And Josh crumbled under the pressure like a 5-year-old who had to give a book report in the middle of a class. And
Josh is an illiterate.
and maybe
And that's my what's the word I want to use? That's
your diagnosis.
that's
of
my
it?
diagnosis. Since we diagnosing everybody,
Yeah.
mine's is he's an illiterate.
And maybe it's something to that. But I can understand stage fright. You know what I mean? So okay, I'm not. That's just is what it is. Everybody's not an orator. Everybody cannot.
Chad.
Right. Everybody cannot write on command. You know what I mean? And so that was fine to me. What was kind of a red flag was how fast it shut down and how the lack of communication in that, because he's an intelligent person, and in their past conflicts, he was communicating adequately of what was the issue and what was going on, right? And this time it was just like, oh, I'm just not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
But that's because
Awkward.
writing is obviously an insecurity for him.
Yes.
And writing and reading, because he wouldn't even read what he wrote down.
No, he was like, no.
I like you a lot, and I hope we can hang out later.
And he said it took him like, what did he say? It took me like 4 months to write.
4 days.
4 days to write the other thing that he wrote.
His
for her,
vows.
his vows or whatever. So.
And she said, well, that was to a stranger. Now that you know me,
Yes.
what would you write, right? So 2 things. This exercise is premature.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, y'all should make them do vows at decision day.
Yeah.
Commit themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be a thing where they feel this was wildly premature to me. Do I think he should be able to say how he feels about her? Yes.
Absolutely. But everybody, it's more common that people cannot do that on the spot than not.
Oh, 1,000%.
Right?
I can't do it.
Josh is not the minority here.
I agree.
Right? Most people cannot, whether it's give speech or you want somebody to write something down real quick and most people cannot do that.
I agree.
Right? So that's understandable. And like you said, I agree. I think it should be actually pushed to a later date.
I think it's
and
premature.
More appropriate time.
Would you be asking, and yes, you are married. Yes, we are doing life together. But 1 month in
Yeah.
seems performative.
Yeah.
and premature. In his defense, in the same way I was defending Chad when they were trying to produce the moment,
Right.
it feels overly produced. And I
Right.
think you're getting here. This is what it looks like when real people are a part of television.
Yeah.
You cannot get me to just write shit down.
Yeah.
Who is doing that anyway?
Honestly, I don't want to sit next to my wife and write something about her in the moment. And I'm good at it.
Yeah, I'm not.
My
good at it.
family
He's good at it.
actually
He's very
comes to
good
me
at
and
it.
asks me to write the stuff for other people's situation. You know what I mean? And I still, if you told me right now while she's sitting here to write something, I'd be like, I don't know that I want to. You know what I mean? I need to go in my office, close my door. I need to think about some shit. I may need to light a candle or something like that. Like I gotta process. You know what I'm saying, to get my shit out. No, seriously. You know what I mean? So I just think the exercise was not a great exercise. The intent behind it was nice. I get it. Like she wanted to have more personable words written about each other. That's cool. I didn't think it needed to get into a place of an argument where it got to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
Like, okay, we can do this a different way or do this another day. I told Zar, if you don't want to sit down and talk to me about something, put it in an email. Take your time. Text it to me. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to beef about this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I get frustrated like that too.
It's
especially when I don't know. Like, sometimes I can't get out what I'm feeling or what I need to say or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So I completely understood where he was coming from. And at the same time, I don't think she was out of line for wanting affirmation.
No, I don't think she was. And I think it could have looked differently. I think the execution was not great, but I'm fine with the intent of what she was trying to do.
Let's take a step back. What I liked at the end of this argument, they're in bed. He comes to her. He says he felt frustrated. He cleans it all up.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciated that. And then she says, great. I accept the apology. I'm sorry if I pushed you. That's fine. I understand you need more time. I need those vows by 8 a.m. tomorrow. And I loved that. I love that she has to continue to be that woman because she was like, yeah. I get it. But I still want you to do this for me.
Yeah.
And we can make it light. It don't got to be something you stressed about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciated that. Josh done lied to this woman about messaging and talking to his ex. I have so many thoughts. Okay. So they're 1 month in. He has an ex. From what I surmised, and you all bust down and make sure we on the same page with this, okay? From what I surmised, not only was he still following the ex, they were communicating about him getting married.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like she DM'd him or he DM'd her, and I guess Josh told Jalen about this.
But it feels like his friends kind of snitched him out.
That's what I was wondering too. I actually rewound this part because it was like
all over the place. It was a little choppy.
It was choppy. It was coming in bits and pieces, and it was hard to like put a cohesive storyline together.
So this is the best we got.
Yeah, they went out. They were with friends. The friends started talking about communication with exes
via social media. Very specific.
Right, via social media. And then it somehow jumps to Josh says that he doesn't communicate with his ex anymore. And then Jalen says in that moment, I just knew he was lying.
Because how do we find out he was lying? Y'all have to tell me what we're missing.
Right. Because that was the big disconnect. Like, wait a minute. All this is happening at the bar?
Yeah.
So she's like, I just knew he was lying. Then they get back home. And then it sounds like he then admits to her that he was in communication with the ex still, and that when he told her that he didn't that he unfollowed her, it was out of panic. Which, okay, it was out of panic, and he just said that he did it even though he didn't do it, but that there's nothing going on. The whole thing is is messy, but I'm glad that they sat and talked about it. Right? They got home, and from what we saw from the little nanny cam, they were talking about it. It seemed like he was being forthright, like, I lied. I'm sorry I lied. She was like, okay, but I'm pretty much done with you. Up until Pastor Kyle shows up.
Now, she literally asked herself, is this something that we need to communicate through, or is this a red flag? Where I should be walking away. Where I should be walking away. I want you all to answer that question below. Is this something that they can just communicate through, or is this a red flag?
But this is the difference between the married folks and the dating folks.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I think this is the difference, because the people who have gone through stuff with their spouse is like, let's be for real. What's happening here? Right? Like she immediately jumps to like, oh, I might have to leave now. And then it felt like when Pastor Kyle came in, even then she was trying to open the door for her to leave the relationship.
She was.
That felt like, whoa, what's happening?
So she has trauma in this department.
Clearly.
Now that we've identified that, I feel like part of this is a trauma response.
100%, I think.
But at the same time, this is where I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't love that he is communicating with the ex.
At all. I think obviously he was wrong. He knew he was wrong. They had a conversation about it. My issue now is what are we doing? What I don't appreciate about the situation is it felt like she then started to change other things to make them the problem, even though I know the problem that she's really having is that she's not getting over the fact that he was still in communication with the ex.
And what Joe is referring to is the fact that now they're having these conversations about Burning Man and whether or not they want to do outdoorsy things. So let's take a step back. They have their 1 month anniversary, and for some odd reason, he thinks that they should go skydiving. So the thing about, you ever meet people and they don't have nothing going on, so they just do all these silly things so that could be their personality?
Yeah.
That's Josh. The reason why he's not an introvert any longer is because he consumes himself with talking points. Oh, I went to Burning Man for 9 days. I didn't shower or anything like that. It was a lawless town, and I just screwed and did mushrooms and MDMA for 9 days straight.
And part of I think that's the root of a lot of adrenaline junkies.
But the truth of the matter is, he has to have these things so he could talk about that, because talking about himself depresses the shit out of him. Because if he had to actually talk about himself, he would have to refer back to that mama and why he not cool with her. He would have to talk about just meeting his daddy. He would have to talk about how his grandma and grandpa came to raise him. See, then you got to dig deep and have those kind of conversations. And because he does not want to have those conversations, he does things like this Burning Man bullshit and all of that. So that could be his personality. So then he don't even have to address who he actually is. It's almost like, to me, dissociative personality disorder. He's just breaking himself into two people, and that trauma person he doesn't even have to touch because he got so much going on over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I don't really. That's all well and good to me. Like, okay, you could be an adrenaline junkie. That's fine to me, especially if it helps supplement some of your personality. Whatever, you know what I mean. My issue is that this isn't a real deal breaker in relationship.
What's not a real deal breaker?
Because he want to go to Burning Man, or he want to, climb up.
This conversation to me is not even real.
It's not like, this is not a place to draw a line in the sand in marriage. That's what I mean when I say real married people are watching this.
It's
shit.
not real.
This is silly, bro. This is silly. And then she turns this into, well, maybe you should be with somebody else who want to go to Burning.
Which was childish. And it was manipulative.
I didn't like that.
It was childish and manipulative. So these are my thoughts. She did the jumping out the airplane, which was crazy. She is absolutely, and I do not care what anybody is saying, covering up the fact. Ever since he did that thing with the girlfriend, she's now willing to give nothing.
Oh, yeah.
See, she was able to give a little rope. Okay, I'll do a little jumping out the airplane. Maybe I'll go to Burning Man and do a little, being out there in the middle of the woods or whatever the case may be. She is now willing to do nothing.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, now I'm drawing a line. Which part of me is not upset with her for kind of taking that stance, because he betrayed a bit of her trust.
Yeah, but we can't do that. Like,
but we
if
can't
you're
do that.
Just like Pastor Kyle said, are you forgiving this person and moving on or not? Do not waste his time. Do not waste your time. Do not waste my time. right? So my issue when
Did
people,
Pastor Cal say all
when
that?
people, basically he did. He did. He talked to them about.
I'm just asking.
He talked to her about what does forgiveness look like,
Yes, he did.
right?
Yes,
Because he said you cannot say, "Oh, I forgive you," but then you're bringing it up every week. You're retaliating. And you're doing it cloaked as different things. Oh, I just don't like going to dinner anymore. Like, no, this is not about dinner.
Or now you feel like because he's asking this of you, it's too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And,
that's nasty work.
but at the same time, he's dead wrong. The problem is he's dead wrong. She just willing to take it to hell. And I don't love that.
You can't do that because now you're running amok in other areas of the relationship. And now everybody's wheels are spinning, you, him, and the therapist trying to figure out, is this really about Burning Man?
Or is this about, then it's this whole conversation around community.
Right.
How he sees community and how she sees community. Jalen has the weirdest conversation with her mother, which I'm glad her mom kind of like got her together, about him and what he sees as community. And she just told her plainly, you can't be his whole entire community. And he understands he needs to seek it other places. It does not have to look how you want it to look. Because she kept saying, well, what doesn't he see in me that it's showing him that I'm not communal? I mean, look, I go out and I meet people every day. And it's like you're missing his whole point about community. And it's almost intentional.
Yeah.
Like I have to start, we got to start. Some people are missing the point, right? And some people are doing it on purpose.
Yes.
Some of y'all know y'all missing the point and y'all don't give a damn. And that's what Jalen was giving.
100%.
You knew you were missing the point.
Yeah.
Do I believe he longs for a sense of community? Absolutely. His mother, he does not speak to.
Yeah.
His father, he did not know all his life and just met. He was raised by his grandparents who weren't able to give him much, and he was an introvert all his life.
Yeah.
Yes, the baby needs a group of people that he likes to surround himself with, and he wants to do that with his wife. Do y'all need to go to Burning Man this year? No. My husband used to tour all year. He would be home. He would literally be home 2 weeks, gone 2 weeks, every month. That has not been the case because you get with your person, you learn to love them, you begin to make concessions. But guess what you do at first? Experience them.
Yeah.
You want to go to Burning Man? All right, we're going to do it. You wouldn't go one time?
But that's the
Once?
That's the thing. You was cool with going.
Until
this thing happened, and now you're not cool anymore.
And you jumped in. And the problem is she had too much. She had made too many deposits into his emotional bank.
Yeah.
When she jumped out the plane, that was a major deposit.
1,000%. And my thing is, I'm not saying that you got to do everything that your spouse want to do. I'm not saying that you got to go all the way 100%, right? Like, if he want to jump out of the plane, you could have just went to the site with him. You know what I mean? That's a part of the experience, right? If he wants to go to Burning Man for 10 days, maybe you just go for a weekend. And you there for 3 days, and then on Sunday night, you tell him, all right, babe, I'll see you when you get home. You know what I mean? That's a part of the experience, right? I'm saying compromises definitely do in every relationship, especially marriage, right?
And it's due between the both of them because also that was her time less to advocate for him saying, well, you just need to mean what you say and whoop-de-whoop, and more being like, we have to do things I like too. We jumped out of the plane because you liked it. I like to go to the spas. That's when you start putting in what the hell you like to do. I like to go, and that means that you need to make a deposit into my emotional bank. I need to know I'm being seen as well. Because if he did that, you going to Burning Man wouldn't be a big deal. If you said, we can go to Burning Man, but I need you to get us one of those real nice buses, because people do that. We know people who literally rent their RVs out for Burning Man, souped up RVs, for Burning Man, right? If you said, we can do 10 days, but this is the RV I need.
Yeah. And he talked about that too. Like he said, like that my issue with it and it sounds like it was also his issue with it is it turned from like, we can figure this out to a staunch, like, I'm not doing this.
But that's
I don't want to
because
go. I'm not doing this. And he even said, it has to be some type of give and take. He said, you like going to Pilates or whatever the hell? I go to Pilates. She said, well, Pilates is only 45 minutes. Now we're doing this.
I do feel where
thing,
she coming from.
But no. Like, we're talking about an ebb and flow. There is never going to be an apples to apples things. These things are wildly different, and they're going to be, because the point of the conversation is you like doing different things than I like doing.
But I think
there's never going to be a point in the conversation where it's an apples to apples comparison, right? So then we can't get into, well, if we go to the yoga festival, it's only an hour drive. Burning Man is 6 hours. Like,
you saying don't get into the semantics.
You cannot get into the semantics of it. And my issue was, it was never even about the semantics. This is about, you didn't like that he lied to you about texting his ex or whatever in social media, which you talked about to him in front of Pastor Cal and told him, Pastor Cal, and your God, that you were moving on from it. So my issue is, and if you're not moved on from it, I'm cool with that too. Just say that. Don't lie about it. The lying and the gaslighting is what's annoying as hell to me. And I hate when people do that. Like, don't tell me you cool, and then you still stewing in it 6 months later, and now we arguing about who left the milk out, and it's really not about the milk. Because you don't want to tell me that you still hung up about whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that, because now he's crying about community. This is not about community. This is about social media.
Child, it ain't about nobody community. Yours, mine, Tim's, ours, the hoods, nobody, the farm, the temples. It's not about none of the. It's not none of the communities. Okay, and it's getting really, really exhausting. But I'm glad Belinda really kind of got her together. Like, snap out of it, girl. Like, it ain't that deep.
Right.
And really, and this is with all due respect, I do think that her and Josh have a very immature way of, and maybe immature is the wrong word, y'all, a singular way of approaching this conversation. But I did love what he said to Dr. Pia, really trying to allude to the fact that I not only want to do these things,
I want to do them with her. That's where my issue lies in this situation. We had a friend couple, and they wasn't even doing nothing crazy. We could be talking about going to the movies. He like, well, I don't want to go to the movies, so you can go to the movies with somebody else. That's not the way to handle it ever.
And she do go to the movies with somebody else.
And that's my point.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
That's my point. That's not the way to handle it. That is absolving yourself of participating in the relationship. We can't get to the point where now, because she says that she doesn't want to do it, now she just don't got to go at all.
Well, also, y'all in relationships and just doing everything you want to do?
Or not at all?
Or just not doing it at all? Is that for real?
And the answer is yes, because we know people who've done it. You know what I mean? And it's just not okay. It's just not, hell, my parents were like that. You know what I mean? My mom used to go to part of it was a religion thing, because they told my daddy if he went to the movies, he would burn, his suit would literally catch on fire and he would die in place. And so he just never, his first time going to the movies was like a couple years ago, no lie. Like, I don't know, maybe it was 6 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
So
no judgment.
My mom used to go to the movies, go to shows, go to all this other stuff.
Live her
and
full life.
She would do it all with her other friends. You know what I mean? That is not the way to do things. You know what I mean? And I had it might be part of why I'm the complete opposite in my marriage. If I'm going to the bathroom, my wife is coming with me. You know
no,
what I mean?
literally.
Are you going or not? I got to go take a shit. What's happening? You know what I mean? And I will argue with her about it. Like, so.
No, this is a true story. Last night, we came in from our nephew's football game. Go to the football game. We take the baby. We have a good time. We come home, and my mom is asleep. And I'm like, oh, then my mom is asleep. I'm not going to wake her up. I'm like, I'll just stay home. It ain't that deep. You know what I mean? And Joe was like, we were going to meet our friend Joe out. Shout out to him. And he sat around for like 15 minutes, like, just like getting stuff together, just cleaning stuff up, because he was not leaving the house without me. I'm like, babe, it's okay. Like, I'll just stay home with the baby. We can cuddle. Like, I can get in the bed. I'm cool. He's like, no, I'll wait. And we waited like 30 minutes. Then I walked in the room. I was like, Mom.
The mom said, roll the baby in the room. I'm like, go ahead, roll the baby in the room. Listen to what she said. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is, like, y'all have gotten into these sunken places where you're so complacent just allowing your spouse to operate in the world. separate and apart from you on things that mean something to them. That's not okay.
Right.
And it's not okay just because they say it's okay. Because that's really where the elephant in the room is. This is an environment that's set by both people in the relationships. My dad didn't go anywhere with my mom because my mom allowed it to happen. You know what I mean? It was okay. It was okay for him. It was okay for her. And so they was just operating in different spaces, right? And that's not okay. That's the truth of the matter. Is there has to be some type of compromise, some type of ebb and flow. If I know that you're passionate about this, I have to at some point take part. I don't got to go you know what I mean? I don't have to, every time Zar go to a wig store, I don't have to go, even though I am going. You know what I mean? I am. You know what I mean? She went to a whole wig warehouse. I was in there going like, let's do this. You know what I mean?
Literally, I was in the warehouse.
So but I think there's something to, when people say we grew apart, a lot of the times it's rooted in stuff like this.
1,000%. But you know what? Joe gets annoyed with me because sometimes I like doing like a lot of comparing to our relationship and stuff like that. But in these moments, I have to remind myself I like my spouse. Joe's my best friend. I literally get to live. I grew up with my sisters, right? We were in a house. They were my best friends. Still are. But we were in a house. So I know that kind of like close, intimate feeling with people and how you do want to do everything with them or tell them everything or whatever the case may be. So now that I have somebody who I feel this way and happens to be my husband, my lover, my friend, I can't understand how y'all don't want to do stuff with us. Or like I was looking in the comments of things and people are like, yeah, my husband going a week-long golf vacation what? The way, if Joe's going on vacation, I'm going too. Yeah. He can go play golf. Don't get me wrong. Go. I'm going to be here though. I need access to him.
And
does that make sense? Is that too much?
1,000%. And I just think it's the important part about that.
I'm anxiously attached.
The important part about that is growing together. We never stop growing. We never stop evolving. So when people say, oh, we grew apart, it's because y'all stopped doing stuff together. A lot of times it's really just that simple.
And a very good example of that is this show right here.
Yeah.
I just like Married at First Sight. I was watching it. And because my husband and I do everything together, he started watching it.
Yeah.
And then he started having real opinions. And then I was like, let's talk about this. That's literally how it started.
Yeah.
We are continuing to do our life together and creating new things. And I feel like you shouldn't be so hard set on what you're not going to do 1 month into a marriage.
You cannot. You can't. And it's ever evolving.
And we're not talking about boundaries that put your life in danger. You just jumped out of a goddamn airplane. You don't draw the line there.
You drawing the line at a festival? That's what I'm saying. That's the silly part about it to me. Is there?
And y'all in the comments saying, well, she giving all this to him and she doing all this stuff.
We talking about going to a festival?
Practice.
The thing we talking about practice.
Practice? We talking about practice, man.
And the problem is that it's ever evolving. So the things that Zar is into today might look wildly different 6 years from now, right? So because she now wants to go to, a forest and study ayahuasca with the rest of these idiots out here, in 6 years, it might be her vibe. I can't be like, well, you ain't like doing that 6 years ago. That's what she likes doing today. So we about to go hug some trees in the forest for a little bit. I'm not going to go every weekend. But when you go every now and then, especially if you staying for 10 days, I'm staying for 10 days so we can hug these trees. We're going to do this together. I'm going to at least have some type of inkling of why does this make you tick? Why are you passionate about that? You know what I mean? Because also, if you like your partner, you don't enjoy seeing them talk about their passions and experience their passions in real life. Why wouldn't you want to see his euphoria of being in a festival? He literally talked about it like it was birthing a child.
And you don't know him.
And you don't know him.
The biggest part that takes me back to you have to experience these people as who they are.
Yeah, right.
Experience him. Get to see him. That is such a good point about the euphoria. This man is telling you to tears.
Yes, like he's going to die about this. He loves it.
And I'm not saying that Jalen is wrong. I'm saying that you wouldn't just want to experience you doing all this. You know what I mean? Heman and Han. I need to know what the hell is going on over here at the goddamn Burning Man.
It has to mean something to you that it means that much to them. And the fact that it doesn't is a red flag. It's a red flag. I'm not passionate about hair, but my wife is. So now I'm kind of passionate about hair.
He really is, though, yo.
It has to, I can't love her and be completely unmoved by things that move her. That is not, you have to look at the foundation of your relationship at that point. So when I start seeing couples where they're just like, oh yeah, she's a movie buff. She like going to the movies and I don't give a damn about that. Something is wrong here. And not because you don't like movies, because you don't want to know why your wife is so into movies.
You're not even in a place where, because what naturally happens is you take the things that you did when you were single, he takes the things that he does when he's single, and then y'all create this amalgamation of brand new things that you do together. But because you are unwilling to just experience him where he is, how he is in that moment, because he was texting his ex.
Yeah.
You can't even get to creating something for the both of y'all.
Yeah.
You couldn't even see that as a path. It took like 4 people to talk to her to say, y'all can eventually create something for yourselves.
Yeah.
But see what he's saying. To your point, that's such a good point about just seeing him in his euphoria and him yours.
Because that was, to me, that's what makes it palatable. If it's something that you're not passionate about, just going to the wig warehouse and seeing how Zar looked like the kids in the Charlie's Chocolate Factory, that was exciting to me, to see my wife that excited. So it didn't make it a chore for me. If I'm going to go somewhere and you're going to be so excited and so elated to go do these things and go see these things, how can that not be easy for me? You get what I'm saying? So it's just weird that you wouldn't even be open to seeing why he's so passionate about this. And now it takes me to a place of, are you not into seeing why he's passionate about this? Or are you mad about Instagram?
You're mad about Instagram, and that's not up for debate. Who's next?
Pat Ron. Pat Ron is wearing me out, though. I'm not.
And heavy on the Rhonda.
Woo, heavy on the Ron.
They either high or arguing, and there's no in between.
It's literally Bobby and Whitney. It's the white Bobby and Whitney. Okay.
It's not up for debate.
This I feel like I'm watching their reality show.
We kind of are, but she is out of control. She is actually the problem in her incessant need to talk about herself and be like, who even has conversations where you're talking about yourself and another person can't interject? Who has conversation like that?
It's crazy. It's like you're talking to a teacher. You ever talk to your teacher like casually, right? You know, the ones that you like, where she immediately just corrects your word. You know what I mean? It's like he's talking to a teacher where like his grammar is always corrected. Oh, you see what you just did there, Pat?
Yes.
He like, damn, I was telling you that I like Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce better than the basic brand. And she's like, yeah, but you didn't check to see if I like Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. It's like, how can you have a conversation with somebody like this?
Neil, he did forget when her daddy died. That was weird. But
No, he didn't forget. You talking about the conversation in the car?
yes.
All right. He didn't forget. She also wildly mischaracterizes stuff, right? So they're in the car, he's driving, and she's talking about her dad and her family and the dad dying or whatever. She says one thing, I can't remember what it was. She says something about, that's when my dad died. And then she says in the next breath, we moved to Poughkeepsie or some shit like that, right? And then in that moment, because I remember I said it to Zar, something about the dad dying. And she said, that happened a long time ago. I told you we moved to Poughkeepsie. She literally said these things back to back. And he just went back to the dad dying and made a comment about that. And then that became an argument. The kid was right. She's a tornado.
She is an emotional wreck. And she is literally, this is what single moms look, this is what this breed of single mom looks like. She is like this because she hasn't had to share space with somebody. So the idea of having a conversation that does not center her.
Or that she got to correct them up. Zar was just telling me something about her job 2 days ago, and I had to ask her the same question like 4 times because I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. Pat would have been kicked out the car. I literally, it was literally the same thing.
Do y'all know how many times I zone out?
all the time, y'all. All the time. Happens all the time.
So listen, I don't know if y'all experienced this. I grew up in a house with a lot of people in it, like a lot of people in it. So I can do this thing where I could be in a room and it could be loud as hell, but my brain is silent.
Yeah, no.
Like Joe could be talking to me and I hear nothing he said.
Yeah.
But it's really my superpower.
Yeah, it's wild.
I know how to create my own peace in my brain.
It's wild. But we've literally had conversations where I've said to her, we were talking about something with some project that she had at work, and I said, so now, what's the CPO thing, right? If Pat does that, they're immediately in an argument. He literally just did it because he said, I was just trying to get clarification on something you said, and she took it as, well, you're just not listening to me. You don't care because you can't remember. The conversation is in flow.
Yeah.
So if you said something, I'm trying to go back to something that you said to connect it to another. That's just basic conversation, Rhonda.
The scary thing about Rhonda is that she'll never change.
Oh yeah, no.
She'll never change.
It's not happening. At 63?
And I don't want this for Pat.
Nah, Pat got to release. You got to release Pat from this.
When Pat pulled over,
I thought he was getting out the fucking car.
He's talking about to curse this bitch the fuck out, bro.
Literally.
I really gotta get myself to get my composure together because I'm really about to air her out. And I kind of felt him.
This is why he always got to be high. You got to be high to deal with Rhonda. You got to be on something. Because otherwise, how do you do it?
How do you do it? I feel like even when they were high, what did he?
She was upset with him then. All he was saying was, I love you. That's all. Oh, you're so beautiful. I love you, Rhonda. I love you, Rhonda.
I feel like he just doesn't listen to me and we're back at square one. I feel like she's with Pat, but she's dating somebody from her past.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
He's not even giving this much television. He's
not even this
for you to be having these visceral reactions. That's number one. Number two, if you have a visceral reaction to everything, when is a thing a thing?
Right. You're the lady who cried wolf every day.
Did y'all pick up what I just said?
Right.
When is there actually something happening? If you have a visceral reaction to everything.
Which is why when she got on the selfie cam and told the story, I immediately didn't believe her. She came in the house and said, well, we were in the grocery store and I was telling Pat a story. And then after the story, he just turned around and asked the guy where the meat was at.
Do you know how but not only that, it's the absolute truth. That's exactly what happened. But there's the problem is you don't get to say the conversation has ended. I'm done speaking now. What kind of weird ass shit? Conversation, when you're a normal person, conversations flow naturally. They have natural pauses. You know what I mean?
This is coming from a person who used to do that.
Do what?
Zar used to literally just be in an argument with me and be like, the argument is over. I'd be like, no, it's not.
I'm done. I've reached my capacity.
Like, are you crazy?
I'm done.
I
literally used to be like, you can go eat, but you be talking to your motherfucking son because I'm done.
I'm like, no, that's not how conversations work, dear.
But he's absolutely right. It's not how conversations work, right? And I feel like it's almost what happens to a person's nervous system when they are constantly drowned in your unchecked emotion.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of what that'll do to Pat and his equilibrium. And I am more upset with y'all because y'all got me caping for this old white man.
And it's starting to be a glutton for punishment. Like
with his sweet
everybody should be able to deal with critiques. Nobody wants to be berated with criticism every day. Nobody. And they should.
We're not built to handle that.
Nobody.
Didn't y'all see the study where they was talking to the plants?
Yes.
And one plant, they spoke nicely to them. And then the other plant, they said nothing but mean, nasty things to the plant. How do you expect anything to grow under these conditions?
You can't. They can't have a conversation without her having to literally slap Pat on his hand.
But them kids must hate her.
They told us. They tried to tell us.
And I don't mean hate her like I hate my mom.
No.
I mean like hate her like
they're annoyed.
They said that in therapy. They didn't say that to her face.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I mean?
They tried to warn
They
us.
loved her for the sacrifice, but they can't have a relationship with her. You cannot have a relationship with somebody like that.
They couldn't even have a high euphoric moment together.
How you gonna blow the high? You disrespecting the vibes?
Completely disrespected the vibe. Pat was about to hug another tree.
And another bitch. He was like,
he was loving
you
everybody.
2 seconds from me getting on somebody else.
It was the 70s in real time, and he was about to take off his clothes because he thought they was on a mountain.
Who even tells stories like this?
I don't know.
He just walks in and asks the guy for gloves. We know, because he was at the store for gloves.
Y'all was in the y'all was in the line, and the guy said, "Can I help you, sir?" And he said, and then Rhonda said, "Oh, you really just gonna talk to him? Like, what are we talking about?" Rhonda is giving crazy, bro.
And it's unchecked. Who's next? Oh, these my favorite. I like Belinda and Chad and everything. But you see when you're not being produced as much, what you can get from a Chad?
Yeah, because he just want to do life. The TV. But this is why I like that they got the OGs on here, because there's although they are at times getting on our nerves,
Rhonda.
the authenticity is at an all-time high.
The truth is the only one who's getting on my nerves is Rhonda.
It's really only Rhonda.
I like
Belinda got on my nerves a little bit earlier, but it's no pretentiousness, it's no BS. And Chad is one of those, he just wants to exist with his wife. The cameras is just a part of the whole thing. He has to deal with the cameras because he wants to be with Belinda.
Yes.
And that's cool. I'm fine with that.
I like how Chad said that Belinda makes him feel safe. And he hopes that his future looks like her smiling face. And y'all out here making babies with men that won't even say they love you. And it's like, I thought that was so kind, right? But inversely, the reason why I know it's an honest feeling is because she says, being with Chad makes me feel like he's cradling.
A coddled baby.
She is literally swaddled in love.
And you know what y'all out here calling that? Love bombing. Y'all are bound to drizzle.
But he don't even see he get his little whiskey at the end of the night.
It's cultural trends.
Dude, are y'all saying they love, but he love bombing her?
Yes.
No, they not.
Yes. It's cultural trends. Everybody's a narcissist.
Yeah, I'm over that too.
Everybody is a love bomber. When a guy likes the girl, he's a love bomber.
How about that?
It's like,
it's never when a girl likes the guy.
y'all are never going to
I don't believe in love bombing.
Y'all are really, y'all bound to drizzle. I don't see it. This is why I don't see it for a lot of y'all, because y'all mischaracterize everything basically depending on which way the social media wind blows. You know what I mean? Like, have your own opinion. This is what looks like.
Oh, 1,000%. But
He
this
likes
is
her.
what experiencing
And
the other person looks like.
Yes.
You could just have nice moments where you say, damn, being around this person makes me feel covered.
Yes.
We don't have to talk about all these other big things, because right now in this moment, I feel seen, I feel covered. And that's where I'm existing, in the now. Y'all so worried about the future, y'all don't even exist in the present. I don't know what multiverse y'all in.
My thing is, y'all be with these dudes who won't even take you to dinner. All Chad do is cook all day, love on his wife, and drink whiskey.
That's it.
If y'all giving the advice, I'm not taking it.
And Belinda said, oh my God, I love it here.
1,000%. She said,
You
I feel
making
like a
tuna
baby.
melts. I feel
Like,
I thought that was a very good compliment. And also, to your point, it's so nice to see older people on here, because things are much more simple.
yes.
It's not all this pomp and circumstance.
It don't have to be.
I just want to be at home with my person. We hanging out. They had the box of toys. They started talking about using the toys and everything like that. And she said, I ain't using no damn toys.
And Chad said, cool.
I did that before, and I don't want to do it again.
The problem is, if Chad was 25 being his same self, he would not be with anybody in this dating world, because he doesn't meet the list. Get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because he wouldn't tell you what to do. How did he gonna do for you, but he wanted to tell you what to do too.
And he's not, he may not be Instagrammable. You know what I mean? He may not have an Instagrammable job. He may not be 6'5".
I'm so tired of y'all.
You know what I mean? And this is when we say that we want y'all to be with somebody who likes you, and we want y'all to pay more attention to the fact that they like you rather than all of these other things. This is what we talking about.
Y'all will describe a man y'all like and don't even describe him liking you.
Yes.
In the description.
Yes.
Cause he likes somebody too, and
Yes,
it might
it's
not be.
not
It
you.
might not be you,
Yeah.
and you could be the baddest, but it still might not be you.
And he could be the baddest. It doesn't. Y'all, the big thing that they do that Zar wears me out is convince me that he's awesome. He could be awesome, but your car broke down and you needed somebody to pick you up. And this guy who's awesome, he has an awesome job. He looks awesome. He smells awesome. Told you, no, I don't got no time for you. But y'all be hell bent on convincing us that he's great. We want y'all to be more concerned with what he tell me that he's into you, which is why I don't be wanting to hear about a lot.
But that be my question.
Because Chad will say, "Oh, I love her."
But look at how when he just can talk and take his time, how he says things that are so real. It's so important to have a Belinda and Chad around.
Yeah.
Chad was speaking about being loving people and how when they were all at the couples retreat and how it's just important because you don't know where time will take you because y'all living in the future. Nobody's living in the now.
Right.
Because in the now, you can get hit by a bus.
Right.
But in the future, you like, I'm going to tell her I love her 2 months from now.
Right.
Derek. You know what I
Worried
mean?
about everybody else's perception of what's going on with you.
And that's all it is. When in truth, you could absolutely just love experiencing the person.
Yeah.
It don't got to be in love. And you can still say, I love you.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's so many semantics because all y'all want to do is play games.
Yeah. It's a big.
It's just
It's a
games.
big game show.
But what do you mean in love? Everything, your love grows and has so many iterations. It'll never be the same love.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
The love you have 1 month will not be the same love in the next month. Right. And once you understand that, you love more freely.
Yeah.
You could be around somebody and say, you know what, I love you. Ooh, I love you. You know how many women I meet in the bathroom and say, oh my God, I love you. And y'all could be having somebody in your pom-pom flipped and thrown and they can't even say that they love you. Just love experiencing you. Or you could take that and think it means so much. I don't know.
Or just be into you. Like, even if
Y'all stress me out.
Chad never ever said that he loved Belinda, I could just tell he's into her. And I just want y'all to be with a motherfucker who just into you. But y'all don't want that.
If he never ever said it, which he did, which is important, but if he never ever said it, he shows that he is into her.
Yeah.
By loving her the way she wants to be loved.
Right. Right.
Not how he sees it, Josh, but how she wants to be loved. You know what I mean? And I think that that's so important. I think that's so important. I think that it's really refreshing to have these people around just to say, like, listen, y'all time is so fleeting.
Yes.
The only commodity that you have is time.
Yes.
Money come and go. All this time is only going.
Yes.
It's only going. This is so morbid, but sometimes I wake up and think I had one less day with my husband. Now I got one less day with him. Y'all know that like burns me up because I just want to experience so much life with him that even losing 24 hours with him is a lot for me. Does that make sense?
And I like you too.
You know what I mean? No. But for
Yes.
real, I mean that.
But-
I think about that sometimes.
But that you gotta like somebody to you know what I mean, to even have those type of thoughts. I appreciate watching interactions like this because it does because of my relationship. You know what I mean? Because I know how much I love and also like my wife, and I know how simple it is. Like just the simplicity of just being in like with somebody. It is a lot less complicated than y'all make it. So that's why I be turned off to some of the conversations, especially talking to the singles and our single friends and things like that. Cause I just be thinking, do this motherfucker just like you?
You so concerned with liking him, you didn't even think, do he like me?
'Cause
Or is
that
he going to
is
like
not-
me the way that I want to be liked? You're only concerned with him liking you what you like? No, it's got to be, everything got to be about you. And that's part, I done said this 1,000 times. I'm not even going to reiterate it. Go back and listen to another video. You know what I mean? Because I can't. And the problem is I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
Because I can tell it be falling on deaf ears.
Oh, yeah, for sure. At the heart of it is y'all worried about the wrong shit.
I love Belinda and Chad. I really, really, really hope this is the real thing. And I hope they're done. I hope this is his last marriage. I hope they can hang.
I do too.
And be done. He acknowledged how good of a mother she is, how beautiful she is, how smart and funny, how she makes him feel. And I don't want nothing else from Chad. He did it.
And Chad is in the house at the retreat. All I see Chad doing is cooking. I don't know if he's doing anything else. He's making every meal. You know what I mean? He's in the kitchen, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he's fine with it. You know what I mean? But it's just also hilarious to see.
I want to address one more thing. I don't like how Will has become this person who has isms.
Oh, what you mean?
Like, people see him as I don't want to say contrarian, but people see him as he's hyper analytical, right? And I wonder where that comes from. But it's annoying me that now everybody's like, well, that's just Will. Or like, well, that's a Will thing to say. I'm like, this is getting annoying. It just popped in my head because I was just like, because Belinda said that, like, well, that's just a Will thing to say. And I'm thinking.
Cool, well, because everybody else also feels like he's also on the spectrum.
I'm so over it. All right, y'all. I don't know if y'all could tell, but your girlfriend is tired. I just cannot hang like I used to. And I tried again last night and I had a very good time with my husband. But
we just had a full day and a full night.
And I still ain't get to go to Costco. And that's really my only goal every 2 weeks, okay? Buy us a coffee. Your girlfriend needs it, okay?
Oh, shout out to, we got some coffee.
Julie, you came on through and bought us a coffee and blessed us. Yes, and we really, really, really appreciate that. I'm hitting my favorite coffee shop, Mothership Coffees, and getting a large, okay? And I really, 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 we really do appreciate that. We really want to thank you guys for just seeing us and hanging out with us.
Also, shout out to Mrs. Smith. She bought us a coffee last too, right?
Oh, thank you, Miss Smith.
Mrs. Smith, and definitely YTW Pierce 95. Appreciate that.
Thank y'all so much for y'all love. It is so great, and y'all are literally we're fueled by Dunkin'. What did they say? We running on Dunkin', ain't that the slogan or whatever the case? But we like really boutique coffee shops. That's really our thing. But y'all can go over there on Buy Us a Coffee. We're posting all of our little coffee shop chronicles and everything like that every time we go, so you guys can be there with us. So cheers. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Bust down. Subscribe to this Mame and Tam channel. I'm your girl, Intisar Eleanor. This is my beautiful husband, Joseph. And thank you for coming to the couch.